morning, everyone. Welcome to Empathy Week 2025. I hope you've all had an amazing week so far, filled with lots of learning and inspiration. My name is Rachel, and I am so excited to be here with you today as part of this incredible event. Empathy Week is all about understanding and connecting with each other, and I can't wait to deliver this session with you today. We're going to be talking about something really important: helping other children who are unable to come to school. Now, there are so many reasons why children might not be able to come to school. Sometimes they might get sick and need to spend a lot of time in hospital. Other times, children might lose their spark. This can happen because of illness or for many other reasons. Now, when this happens, it might mean that they are away from school for just a few days, but for some, it can be much longer, sometimes even months or years. But even when our friends can't be with us in school in person, there are lots of things that we can do to support them and make sure that they feel included and connected. You might have already seen some of these things happening in your own school. One really exciting way that we can help children stay connected is by using a robot called AV1. This is AV1 here, and the idea for AV1 came from a woman called Karen Dolver, who started a company called No Isolation 10 years ago. She was inspired by a mother called Anna Fee, whose daughter had been really ill and couldn't go to school. So this made Anna Fee's daughter feel really lonely on top of being unwell. So Karen wanted to do something to help children who couldn't attend school feel included. So she worked with teachers, children, scientists, and a hospital school to create the AV1 robot. And the robot means that children can connect to school through an app on a phone or a tablet. They can see, hear, and talk to their teacher and friends, making them still feel like they're part of the class, no matter where they're joining from. It's an amazing way to make sure that everybody stays connected and included. In a minute, we're going to hear a short story about two girls meeting, but one of them is feeling a little bit anxious. Can anybody guess what anxious means? When you're anxious, it's like feeling worried or scared about something, even if you're not exactly sure what that is. You might feel it as butterflies in your tummy before a test, or you might feel nervous when you're about to try something new. It's totally normal to feel anxious sometimes, and it's really important to talk about it with someone that you trust, like a teacher, a friend, or a parent. Now, in today's story, The Small Things, we're going to meet Anna, who feels anxious when she's asked to befriend the new girl in her class, Ellie. But there's something different about Ellie. She's ill and she can't come to school herself. So instead of meeting face to face, Anna has to communicate with Ellie using an AV1 robot. Now, Anna feels a little bit nervous at first, not knowing what to expect, but the robot helps Ellie feel more connected, even when she can't be there in person. It's a really special way to help someone feel included, no matter what challenges they're facing. So let's read a snippet from chapter 4 to see how Anna and Ellie get to know each other and how the AV1 robot helps them build their friendship. Chapter 4. I stared at the robot and felt my face go pink. It seemed like the robot was staring at me. I guess I'll just start with hello, I said. I'm Anna. I felt so awkward, it was unreal. Nothing happened for a moment, and then the robot's white eyes began to wiggle up and down. She was saying she was happy. Hello, Anna, said Ellie. Sorry you've got stuck inside with me at break time. I smiled. Oh, that's fine, I said. I don't do much at break time anyway. I wasn't sure if that sounded a bit rude, but the robot's eyes did another wiggle. I laughed. Do you like school? Said Ellie. It's all right, I said. Miss Bernal is really nice. The robot hummed on the desk. Its eyes stayed in the happy setting. I sat there silent, trying to think of what to say. Did you go to school before you got ill? I said. I instantly wished I hadn't mentioned Ellie's illness. That was probably the last thing she wanted to talk about. But Ellie didn't seem to mind. Yes, but I haven't been to school in person for about a year now, she said. I nodded. We sat in silence for a bit. I didn't know what else to say. Where do you sit, Anna? Do you want to show me? Said Ellie. Sure, I said. I carefully twisted the robot round so that it faced my empty desk. I sit over there on the left with Erin, Seb, and Anthony. I turned the robot back to face me again. I could show you around the rest of the classroom if you want, I said. The eyes on the robot wiggled again. Yes, please, said Ellie. You can tell me where everyone sits and what they're like. I grinned and carefully picked up the robot. I turned it round so that I was holding it against my chest, its eyes facing outwards. Okay, so let's start with Miss Bernal's desk, I said. I pointed the robot at the shelf behind her chair. She keeps all of our workbooks here, and she puts the book she's currently reading on this stand so that we can see what it is. Ah, I love reading, don't you? Said Ellie. I thought about it. Did I like reading? I haven't read a book in ages. It's okay, I guess, I said. I walked slowly around the class, showing Ellie where everyone sat. Then I went to the back wall where there was a big display of our latest artwork. We had used pastels and chalk to draw Bronze Age tools. They look amazing, said Ellie. Which one is yours? I had to search for it. I'd never looked for my picture, but it had to be somewhere on the wall. There it is, I said. It was right in the centre. It had been pretty hard to do because you couldn't rub the pastel out if you went wrong. That's brilliant, Anna, said Ellie. It's the best one on the wall for sure. I hadn't noticed, but maybe she was right. It actually looked quite good. So that was a small part from chapter 4. As we saw, Anna felt a little bit awkward when she first met Ellie through the robot. They started talking and getting to know each other, with Anna showing Ellie around the classroom and sharing some details about school life. So although Anna initially felt unsure, they quickly warmed to each other, and Ellie even complimented Anna's artwork. Now we're going to skip ahead to chapter 13, where some time has passed and Anna and Ellie have become friends, but they've never met in person. So let's see what happens. Mum dropped me at the school the next day. I ran to the playground and stood by the main doors. As soon as the bell went, I rushed to our classroom to see if Ellie Bot was back, but the desk beside me was empty. I felt a bit dizzy. Something bad had happened to Ellie. I just knew it. I looked for Miss Bernal to ask her what was going on, but she was in the corner talking to our head teacher, Mrs. Watson. I put my bag by my desk and sat down. Miss Bernal and Mrs. Watson were talking in low whispers, looking down at the floor as they spoke. Ellie Bot was on the shelf behind them, switched off and facing the wall. Miss Bernal saw me looking and she quickly turned away. Then Miss Bernal nodded and Mrs. Watson left. Almost everyone was in their seats now. I put my arm up. Miss, I said. Miss, is Ellie okay? Miss Bernal waved her arm at me. Not now, Anna, she said. Let me take the register and then I need to tell you something. She went over to her desk. I felt tears begin to sting my eyes. I knew it wasn't going to be good. I just knew it. Miss Bernal called out everyone's names and waited for her to get to Ellie Palmer's. But she skipped it. She finished the register and Ellie wasn't mentioned at all. Miss Bernal was holding her hands in front of her. Badgers class, I have some news to share about Ellie Palmer, she began. My stomach twisted. I was so worried about what she was going to say. As you know, Miss Bernal went on, Ellie has been very poorly over the past year. She has been in and out of hospital and has had to endure some rather nasty treatments to get better again. The classroom was so quiet, you couldn't even hear a breath. Her treatment has meant that her immune system was badly affected. This meant that she has been at risk of catching an illness and getting seriously unwell. That's why she used EllieBot to join our class. Miss Bernal turned and pointed to the robot on her shelf. The sight of the robot's back facing the class made me want to cry. I closed my eyes tightly. This was awful. Ellie had an appointment at the hospital yesterday to see how her immune system was coping, said Miss Bernal. As she spoke, I heard the classroom door open, but I kept my eyes closed. And I'm so pleased to say that Ellie's doctor has said that she can return to school part-time, Miss Bernal continued. I opened my eyes and blinked. What? I turned my head and saw Mrs. Watson and a small girl standing in the doorway. She was wearing school uniform and she had a pale blue scarf tied around her head. Ellie? I whispered. Come on in, said Miss Bernal, smiling. Come and meet your classmates. Ellie looked around at all of our faces. She looked really nervous, but I could tell from a twinkle in her eyes that she was also so excited. Miss Bernal put a hand on Ellie's shoulder. This is your seat right here, next to Anna and Naya, she said. Ellie looked at both of us and smiled. Hi, Naya. Hi, Anna, she said. Hi, Ellie, I said, smiling back. So, now that we've heard the story, I want you to think about a few questions. Take a moment to think about how you could help if a friend was away from school. First of all, if your friend is away for a while, what are some things you can do to make sure they don't feel like they've been forgotten? If you notice that your friend isn't feeling themselves or their spark isn't as bright as usual, what could you do to help them feel better and more connected? And finally, how would you feel about talking to your friend through a robot like the AV1? Do you think it would help you stay connected with them? Take a minute to think about these questions and maybe share your ideas with a friend or a teacher after today's session. It's really important that we look out for each other and help make everyone feel included. So the AV1 robot is a great example of how technology can help us connect with each other, even when life is a little bit hard. Sometimes we face challenges like illness or being away from school, and it can feel tough to stay connected with our friends and our classmates. But with the help of technology like the robot, we can still see, hear, and talk to each other no matter where we are. Now, before you head back to your class, we have a fun task for you. We want you to think about what you would name your very own AV1 robot for your class and what it would look like. Would it be funny, creative, or something super cool? You can use the downloadable sheet to design your AV1 and come up with a name that you think it suits best. Once you've finished, share the photos with Empathy Week. We are so excited to see how creative you can get. And remember, it's not just about technology. This is about being kind and looking out for each other. Thank you so much again for being part of today's session, and enjoy the rest of Empathy Week.